Hey everyone, Phoenix Tremaine here. You probably just watched my review of the Have and Have Nots. Now I'm switching gears to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I was not going to review this show because Love and Hip Hop, I really loved Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. That was my show. But it's so fake and phony now that I didn't even watch the reunion or the last like 3 or 4 episodes of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I deleted that shit from my DVR. I didn't give two shits. So when it comes to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, I did not watch season 1. It looked boring as fuck with a bunch of, people who I didn't know who half of these motherfuckers was. Other than Omarian and Ray J and Soulja Boy, who knew the rest of the people? I mean, you might have, but not me. But I forgot to say, all my links are in the description. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. I always include. Feel free to join me, join the conversation. If you join me on Facebook, you will see that I inspire many debates on Facebook. We go deep into some shit, whether it's from the entertainment industry, whether it's Black history, whether it's shit like the Muslim chick not want to serve people on the goddamn plane because 2 years in, flight's in for 4 years, and 2 years in, she's like, oh shit, I'm Muslim, I shouldn't be giving alcohol. Whatever. But but we go in on Facebook on every fucking thing. So all of my links are in there. But I'm gonna hit you off with a really quick Love and Hip Hop Hollywood review. Because this is my first time watching Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, but it's not my first time watching Love and Hip Hop. I've seen all of New York and all of Atlanta except for these last 5 episodes because it was just more shit. So, my first note is I don't know who these people are. I don't know who these chicks are, okay? Tierra Marie, I actually don't know who she is. I mean, I've heard the name. I know she's been in the music industry. I think she's like one hit wonder or something. But, went over my head, I don't know. But one thing I do know is Tierra Marie, when I saw her in pictures and shit, she was thin. I turned on Love and Hip Hop, I'm like, is that Tierra Marie? I mean, is her name, she just have a name like Tierra Marie? I'm like, who's this plump chick? Okay, hey, I don't know, maybe she had a baby or something, I don't know. But when you're in the music industry, get a personal trainer. But anyway, I don't know who these people are for the most part. So I'm going to focus on the people I know. Ray J and his princess chick, don't know who she is either. And they talk about the scandal they had in the media. This huge scandal that I've never heard of. Okay, and she's hiding out from the paparazzi. In her friend's apartment. Really? You're hiding out from the paparazzi? Trust me when I say that I am all over social media and entertainment, and you've made it when someone like me actually knows who you are, because I talk about this shit all day in the entertainment. I've talked about Ray J shit, but this Ray J Princess shit, I guess it was on TMZ. They said it was on TMZ. I'm subscribed to TMZ, but I guess I missed it. That means all the other bloggers weren't blogging about it, and all the other people I go to, like I reference at least 10 or more blogs a day for different news for me to share with my viewers, and I give y'all credit, source, deadline, grape juice, whatever it is. But I missed the scandal, and I'm just gonna skip ahead to the end. Ray J basically, he begs Princess, I almost used a bad word. That people in the comments have said I use the word bitch too much. I use it a lot. I don't mean nothing by it. If I use the word bitch, if I mean it in a negative way, or if I'm just referencing a person based on just slang usage. But he begged her. She said, okay, you give up your little bachelor pad, then I'll get back with you. So he was like, okay, cool, I'm giving up the bachelor pad because I love you. But then he decides, I'm Ray J, so I'm going to have one last party. All these motherfuckers in the party look like extras. Point blank, period. You know, they all look like extras. I mean, let's remember, there's no such thing as a surprise on Love and Hip Hop. It's a reality show. The cameras are there. You know, the people are there. They're all getting paid. They're not there because they're party participants. They're there because they're getting paid and trying to get some TV time. When she comes in because she gets a phone call, you know, she shows up there and is shocked to see that he's having this party with these strippers, and after he broke her promise to her. So of course it's not Love and Hip Hop unless somebody's throwing a glass of water. So I'm sure it's supposed to have been something else, but we all know that they throw this water and shit. I remember when seeing on Basketball Wives when it first started, and I would get all excited. Oh shit! Look, there's some water. But now we're like, what, 5-6 years later? Like, you know, at least put some Coke in it or something, make it look brown, so they think it's some brown liquor or something. And just throw, you know, no, it's just clear. It's water. It's not vodka. It's not champagne. It's fucking water. You know. So they had this fake ass fight with all these extras, and it should have been exciting, but I'm still like, who the fuck are these people? Who cares? Omarian and April. Now, I actually like Omarian. I think today I listened to Touch on my gym playlist for working out. And so I can't say I'm an Omarian fan, but I like some of his songs. I like some of his music. I can recognize him. I know who he is. I know who his brother is. I've even watched some of their horror films. But Omarian in April, just as a person who's never seen the show before, the first thing that caught me off guard is that, Omarian, you weren't in the show. I know that you're not where you were, you know, before with B2K and when you first went solo. But Love and Hip Hop isn't doing you any favors. This is for people who have absolutely no career prospects whatsoever. They're just trying to be reality stars. You're doing music. I still hear singles dropping from you, whether they're hits or not. You know, it still ends up coming through. Like I said, I'm always on different blogs and stuff like that. And they go, oh, Omarian's new single, or Omarian's on this single. So, yeah, I mean, you're still around. This show isn't doing you any favors. And I don't know what Omarian's actual relationship is with April, but that kiss was the most boring. Like, these people ain't never seen each other naked. It was the fakest, most boring ass kiss I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, he even looking at her like, oh my god, please don't kiss me. Don't touch me with your lips. He looks that like, I can't stand you. That's just the vibe that I get from Omarian and April. She's like begging for the dick, like the kid goes to sleep, and we aren't having sex. Trust me. You know, I think Omarian might have enough money for a nanny or a babysitter, even somebody in the family. Look, I'm gonna take my girl out for the night. You know, can you watch the kid for a couple hours? If Omarian wanted the pussy, Omarian would have the pussy. Okay, she's like, oh, you're too tired for sex. No, he's still young. You know, young-ish. So, if he ain't getting it from her, he's getting it from somebody. So, I just saw no chemistry between the two of them whatsoever. Then we've got Monise. Who the fuck is that? And Rich. Now, I don't use the word thoughts, but that's the only thing I could think when I was watching the show. And it was like, that's what people mean when they say thought. I always knew what it meant, but seeing so many on one show, it's like, that's... You want to know what a thought is? Watch Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So Monise had a secret boyfriend who was revealed to be Rich Dollaz. I don't like Love and Hip Hop New York, but I do like Rich Dollaz. And if he brings anything to this show the way he did with Arkamina, then, maybe Monise will be the new Arkamina. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just getting to know these characters because I don't feel like they're being themselves. It's all scripted. But it was a very short scene. Hazel E. Uh, introduces essentially Milan Christopher. Basically, because Empire. Let's just call it what it is. Because Empire's Jesse Smollett's character is so popular, they've decided to add Milan Christopher and his boyfriend Miles Sirach to the cast. And I don't know who Amber is, but whatever. I don't know who Hazel Lee is. She seems like something, but I didn't watch season 1, so I don't know. But she introduced Milan Christopher. The only reason why I'm even watching Love and Hip Hop Hollywood is for Milan Christopher, because he did a local web series here in the DMV area, and I'm always trying to support and look at different web series that are in the area, especially with my website webseriesandmovies.com. It's easier to network with somebody who's in your city or in your area than it is to network with people that are all over, even though I do. But to do interviews and stuff like that, sometimes it's just nice to be face to face. So I'm always looking at local web series, so that's how I knew who he was. I did see the music video he did with T.S. Madison, and I always was like, I hope this guy goes somewhere. I've seen his modeling pictures, things like that. So I'm like, we've got to support each other. Hopefully, he makes it. The show gives him that come up that he missed on YouTube. So we'll see what happens with Milan Christopher. But his boyfriend Miles, that's a whole nother story altogether. Because Miles talks about his girlfriend Amber, and I have to say this, and I don't know these people, I've never met these people, but Love and Hip Hop Hollywood is so freaking fake that I'm watching Amber rap and I'm thinking to myself, what? Why? Couldn't they have found somebody who actually had skills? I mean, she's okay, but she needs a lot of work. I'm like, if you've seen it, you know what I mean. Ugh. It was so hard to watch. I'm like, is it over yet? Is it over yet? Is it over yet? I'm like, come on, people, please. And then she's like, he's pulling away from me. And that's what brings me to the conclusion of this review and saying, he's out. Milan is out. And his storyline, based on the super trailer, is that he's into the church and he's trying to get in the hip-hop game, and he doesn't want to be out, and he doesn't want to fully commit to Milan because, he's on a DL, and Milan, desperately wants him to just come out so they can be together. They just want to be able to go to movies and shit like that. And I'm like, really? Now, this is why Love and Hip Hop has become so hard to watch. You on TV, you're so afraid about being on the DL, but you on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, where most of the damn, shit is about. You know what the show's about. So it's like, it's an insult to the intelligence to watch this and to watch this storyline knowing full well that you're on camera. You're not in your bedroom by yourself. You got mic guys, you got light guys, you got camera guys, people getting paid, they're on a schedule. Milan taking a shower. We know that that's just for the cameras to show that Milan has a nice body. This is what they do. They started early on the episode. They did this long ass pan of this waiter with 6-pack abs and shit, And then this chick walks by with a boyfriend, I guess, and they show her in the thong, but they blur it out. So, I mean, I know they're trying to add sex to the show or whatever, but it's like, if you're going to, couldn't somebody watch this and say, this is an insult to the intelligence? Obviously, whether he's on the deal or not, the storyline should be, I'm coming out. Even if he says, I don't know how quite to do it yet, but, you know, I'm on national television and everybody I know is going to know. The hip-hop community is going to know. The fans are going to know. My second scene is being in bed with my boyfriend. So how are we going to watch week after week of him struggling to stay on the down low when he's on camera, on national television, filming? That is why I stopped watching Love and Hip Hop, because it's an insult to the intelligence. The fact that from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, when they had Kirk cheating on camera, which makes no sense at all. You know it's all orchestrated and staged, and it takes me out of reality. I know reality TV is scripted, but the fact that they insult our intelligence by trying to make us feel like we're watching these people's lives as it happens. No, they're on television. This is a show. It's scripted with a whole production crew and team. All of this shit is figured out in advance. So please give us, the audience, more credit in knowing that we are watching a show that, we can analyze and know that there are details that just don't make any fucking sense. Like a guy being on DL on national television saying he doesn't want to come out when he just did the moment the cameras rolled. So that's it. Usually a new show for me, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, is a new show. And I usually give it 4-episode tests. I may give this 2 to 3 episodes. But, I mean, if the fakeness is just as bad next episode as this episode, I don't think I'll make it to a 3-episode test, much less a 4-episode test. So if you suddenly stop seeing Love and Hip Hop reviews, it's because of number one, first and foremost, Empire is back and all the rest of my shows are back. And that will be my main focus on what I'm reviewing and talking about. And that's it. I don't want this video to run too long. This video is actually longer than I thought it would be. But, that's it. Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 2. Fake is just fake as shit, just like the rest of it. Just enjoy it as scripted television. Pretend it's not even supposed to be a reality show. And that's it for me tonight. Good night.